Good evening, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Wednesday, December 7th, as we're going to be looking what occurred today in the market. Not a whole lot of price action. Apparently, the market didn't want to move today. Plain and simple, the market just did not want to move in either direction. Have we traded in basically a pure balance mode in the lower distribution from yesterday's trend day down. So remember when I was talking yesterday, an A period, the first a 30-minute candle there, that whole range of A period was the upper distribution. Then you have an intraday gap, short position, supply, whatever you want to call it, right in this region, right in here where the single prints are, right? And then you have the lower distribution where it starts at C's high and ends at K's low, which is the low of day. We traded inside of that range all day long, packing in lots of volume. We ended with a 13 wide, perfect point of control, big mean in this area, a lot of volume pumped around in this 3850 to 32 area. So 32 to 38 in that price. We chopped around a lot, basically back and forth through the opening all day long. The only trades that were really good trades, in my opinion, would have been up here in A, C, or D period against the upper distribution or upper end of the lower distribution up in this region, right? Would have thought, in this range would have been a good short opportunity. Start getting a short position put on, uh, even closer to the single prints, maybe add a little bit, and then as we get into the single prints, look to see if they hold and we roll it back over, or if those single prints got filled. Well, we didn't do either. We didn't get near it. We didn't fill them. We didn't even take out the low of the day from yesterday. We just traded inside that range. Not a whole lot of action, just a lot of price being pumped around and volume pumped around in this tight range. We did take out the initial balance high early on in the day as A and B period, right? Those are the initial balance, the first 2 30 minutes, and then you look to see which side is taken out. The upper end was taken out in C period. We began to one time frame up. We kind of continued a little bit in D period, and then D became a reversal bar as we came back down toward the opening. We couldn't. There was plenty of supply up in this region, so not a lot of action. I didn't take any trades today, as I don't really enjoy trading inside days. I like to trade trend days just because there's a lot more market generated information that's kind of something I can lean on. Today, there really wasn't anything to lean on unless it was those shorts up here. And then maybe take along an E or an L period against the low of day, and then you would have been out below it. Other than that, there really wasn't even any trades. Yeah, you could have played the rotation back and forth, but price action was so choppy. It's really bad risk reward, so you're not getting the most bang for your buck. You would have had to taken, you know, 150 trades today to make what you would have made yesterday on the trend day down, selling up here and holding the entire way down. You would have had to made triple the trades in order for you to make any money. And then on top of that, you would have been paying really high in commission. So overall, just not worth it to trade today. I didn't do anything, so I having no trade is also a trade in my opinion, or in many people's opinion. No trade is also a trade. So I was protecting the bank today, not doing anything early on, and then decided to just kind of watch this bad boy chop around, come back, check on it, see what happened. And once I seen that we were like 7 or 8 wide, I kind of was like, yep, we're just going to continue to chop around, go back and forth between the opens. So nothing there for me. Now tomorrow, we look to come out of this inside day uh, and monitor it for continuation or lack of, as my mentor would say. You want to see if we take out today's low and then the previous day's low, right? If we take out those two lows, Then you want to see if we get continuation to the downside. Do we get that low of day from the 17th? Do we get that afternoon pullback low? And then, you know, big range all the way down from 39.0450 to 38.7 or 38.70.75 and then into that gap. If we were to come out of this inside day with some velocity and some volume and shorts really wanted to push this thing, they could. It just depends. All right, what do we do? Do we go trend early on in the day? Can we not hold trend? Do we not get into this area? Do we not get these destinations to the downside? Those are things you would look for uh, early on in the day to determine if we're going to have continuation to the downside. If not, then you just kind of see what happens. If we take out the day's high, then you want to look to see if we fill these single prints. Do we fill these single prints or do they hold? If they fill, then you should go into the upper distribution and attempt to find some type of acceptance in this area. And then maybe, depending on how much the volume and price and short covering comes into the market, do we take out that high of day? Do we fill this next little set of single prints? And then maybe eventually go up here and test the 200-day moving average? That's a possibility. Both sides are very good opportunities. You just want to see which side you come out of. Do we come out to the upside or to the downside with this inside day? Right now, sellers are pretty happy. As anybody that did sell at the break of this low, they're still in the money, not really sweating it out. We traded just the lower distribution. Not setting new lows on the day is a little bit worrisome. But remember, the daily's been one time framing down for 2 days in a row. So with that being said, I'm going to review the destinations one more time. Uh, this 13 wide POC is an upside destination because we closed below it. So uh, we look to trade at 39.3850 if we open up inside or below M's close or where we closed or below today's open. You look to trade up to maybe 39.3850 and then from there 39.6150 and then into the single prints at 39.6675 and they get filled at 39.7675 in this range. After that, you look to rotate up to 4,550 where the single prints start from the other day. For the downside, if we open up inside or below the opening, then you look to take out today's low, 39.2425, that previous day low, 39.2150, get that low of day, 39.1375, 39.0450, and then where the gap starts, 38.70.75. Do we open up with a gap tomorrow? Down below, coming out to the downside? Do we fill the gap? Those are things we'll look for tomorrow whenever that comes. I am not a predictor, just somebody that's seeing price action, and right now it's in the favor of sellers. So, with that being said, let's go and look at the larger time frames. We'll review those real quick, and we'll make this video a roughly pretty quick one. Pretty quick video. Once again, let's look at the monthly balance, right? Nothing too crazy. And I believe there were inside days for all of the indices. I believe the Nasdaq, and then the Russell. I believe they also had uh, inside days, if I am not mistaken. But balance on the monthly, right? We never got up to this area where my balance high was, right? Never got up to that area. Um, let's see, what was that high? 41.75. We never got to that high, right? So do we come back and visit the lows? Who knows? Right now, is this a look above and fell of previous month? It's still early on in December. We're kind of in a holding pattern. It's kind of too early to say that this is a look above and fell. We really won't know until the end of the month. Weekly, weekly, and a balance, right? Uh, my my mentor made a really good point this morning, and I see his point in it. He's saying that because the weekly just came into balance, we would use this weekly low as our wherever we close on the low of this week, we would use that, or wherever the low is for this week, we would use that as our balance low area. So say we come in all the way down to 37, 39, and we take out this previous or this weekly low here, uh, then you'd use obviously all of this week's range. If we get into half of it, then you might encompass this whole week here, from up here all the way down as the weekly or balance. For me, I was saying it was here. I don't think you're wrong in saying that because there's a weekly low here and people could be buying it against that. You're not wrong in thinking that, but if we do get below and find acceptance below that previous week or that weekly low of 39.12.50, if you get below that, then you better look out because your next weekly low isn't until that 37.38.25, right? And then that would be your weekly balance. So let's see how the rest of this week goes. Do we close at the lows? Do we just hold in this range? Those are things we're going to be looking for. So weekly balance, daily, one time frame and down still. Today was an inside day, right? We're one time framing down 1, 2 days, inside day, looking to see if we come out of this inside day to the downside. That is the question. Also, I believe I have my after hours on, so this chart doesn't look proper. Let me check. Yep, extended hours is on, so let's adjust that. What just happened there? That looks ugly. All right, so that is more accurate. So we've continuously taken out previous day's lows, right? That's been the trend. Today was an inside day. We did not take out the low. Let's look to see if that happens, if we come out to the downside, and if we do, next destination is that 38.45 right above that next weekly low. And into the gap actually. If I'm not mistaken, that kind of lines up ridiculously. It's crazy how these things work out and line up. Yeah, the 50-day moving average is inside that gap. So maybe you're looking to come down and test that 50-day and fill in this poor structure here where the gap is at. If we do, you could look to hold that 50-day moving average. Right now, the likelihood of that happening is pretty good because the daily's one time framing down. But the bigger time frames, the larger time frames are in a holding pattern, such as the monthly and the weekly. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for stopping by. We hope we catch you in the next one. We'll see you.